Welcome to Hollywood at Ovation with Jorge Amir. We're here standing right in front of Larry Edmunds Bookstore. This is an historic site and you guys would want to hang with us and find out all about it because we will be celebrating and giving tribute to Sunset Boulevard, the world of Suzie Wong, and William Holden, and we're going to have a lot of insight for you. Hello, welcome to Hollywood at Ovation with Jorge Amir. Today we will be covering one of the most iconic bookstores here in Hollywood and throughout the US. This is a very unique bookstore. This is a cinema bookstore dedicated to scripts, photos, and everything that has to do with cinema and cinema studies. You don't want to miss this show because we're actually here in the middle of it. We're going to be paying tribute to Sunset Boulevard and the world of Suzie Wong, starring the iconic William Holden in both films. We're celebrating his life. We're celebrating these two films. The Sunset Boulevard will be celebrating its 75th anniversary, and the world of Suzie Wong is celebrating 65 years. That's right, 65 years since its release. We are shooting here from the Larry Edmunds Bookstores, which is the premier cinema bookstore in the US. So if you ever need any kind of books and cinema, scripts, photos, they have it all. And we're gonna have a special tribute today. So right now, without further ado, I'm introducing you to Jeff Manter. He's the owner of Larry Edmunds Bookstore.
How you doing? I'm Jeff. This is my store. This is the Larry Edmunds Bookshop on Hollywood Boulevard. If you like Hollywood history and you like posters and photos and books about the movies, you're in the right spot. Come on in. Whatever you like.
So Jeff, tell us a little bit about the history of this establishment of Larry Edmunds.
Bookstore goes back to 1938. Became a cinema specialty store in the mid-60s. And we specialize in everything Hollywood related. We've been in 3 different locations. We've been in the current one here since 1990.
And how do you become involved with this location?
I started here as the stock boy in 1990, and now I took over ownership in 2007, and I've been at this location since we moved here.
And what happened to the previous owners? Did they die? Did they move? Did they here take over the business?
They were my partners, and eventually they retired and phased out of the business. And Git Poland, who was one of the owners here and had turned it into a cinema bookstore, she liked the idea that I was going to keep the store going after she was gone.
And give us the layout of the bookstore. How is this, because you have a lot in here, how is it all spaced out?
Well, the wall is basically biography.
Okay, what are we looking at here, Jeff?
That's a check made out to this bookstore in 1958 by Lucille Ball. More than likely to purchase some property they might have been considering for something at Desilu Productions, but I really don't know. I don't know exactly what the item was. But anyone you might be looking for, be it actor, director, something like that. And then we have a lot of subcategories. How-to related books. We have sections on animation, and we have a section on noir, and then we have some specialty areas too, depending on whatever you're looking for, criticism or women's studies or foreign film specialties, anything like that.
And what do you have in those boxes?
Stuff I haven't gotten to yet.
Okay, and then how do you get this stuff, like all these posters that are up, these oversized posters, are they for sale or are they just display?
Yeah, no, all the posters are for sale. The full-size ones and the mini-size ones in the boxes behind you right there. All the posters are for sale.
So this should be like stop number 1 when anybody comes here to Hollywood Boulevard. The first place they should be visiting is Larry Edmunds Cinema Shop, right?
Well, if you're a movie fan, I would like to think we should be the first place you want to stop. Yeah, classic Hollywood in particular.
And now, and then you have this section here that appears like scripts. How did you get these? And
You have some scripts, yeah. And over here is the posters and
what do we have here?
posters, lobby cards, anything that's promotional advertising or paper related to the film.
Is this an original Superman poster?
It's the original advance poster.
Okay.
So this was the special teaser that came out.
From 1978 when it was from the first one?
Yeah, correct.
All right, we just finished a show on this, so if you guys want to check that out, that was our very last episode on all things Superman. And what else do you have from Superman, Jeff?
Just some photos right now. You can take a look at. Not much. He's pretty picked over right now. Maybe more stuff on the sequels.
And how much do these go for?
All different prices, but most of them start in the neighborhood of $5. The original photos can be a little bit more.
Awesome. So these photos here are like $5, is what you're saying?
These photos are more like $10.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, those are original, so
And what do you have back there? There's a ton of files, or seems to like.
that's more posters and photos and lobby cards. Original material.
Now, how did this get into your hands, or how did they end up here at the shop? Do studios send them? Do you go out looking for them?
I get calls from collectors and people every single day.
And then they deliver stuff to you, and then
The store has been around for a long time. The stuff finds me more often than not.
So talk to us about that partnership that you have with American Cinematheque, because you're actually at their events. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The Cinematheque is a long-time friend and supporter of the store, and I basically handle the book-related events for him at the Arrow or the Egyptian and the Los Feliz 3, where you would have been last night, their latest venue. And
tell us a little bit about that. What happened last night?
Now, filmed where the story takes place, a motion picture of international interest. Starring William Holden, who stepped into the incredible life of the Orient and into the world of the bewitching Wan-Chai girl, Suzie Wong.
You see the girl sitting over there at the bar, the one with the red dress?
Yes, Suzie Wong. She my best friend. Most popular girl in bar. She got sex appeal. Okay, I pose for you.
Good. Right over here.
Take clothes off.
No, I've never tried nudes.
Good time to try. Oh, you better take shirt off, Susie. Maybe he not like.
He got you, he beat you.
Poof! He say to me, Susie, I'm crazy mad about you. You do anything you want, for goodness sake. She very pretty girl. She virgin?
Well, if you'll wait a minute, I'll ask.
Never mind. You'll find out.
Susie, what are you doing here?
You told me to wait.
I told you not to wait. Susie's my model, you see.
Does she just wait around until the mood strikes you?
I'll get you pajamas. You want tops or bottoms tonight?
This is the irrepressible Suzie Wong, whose world will soon be yours in this exciting motion picture. A world in which she has to fight just to stay alive.
He's the only man in my life I've ever wanted. If I have to get in the way she did, I'll do it.
Robert, why you not let me be your permanent girlfriend?
Oh, stop it, Susie. We've been all through that. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but I've had my share of women and all the trouble that goes with it.
That's not good reason, Robert.
All right, then, I can't accept your way of life. I can't have you giving me your love on the days that you're free. Sergeant, let us through. There's not a chance. Who's in charge?
the Nancy Kwan event. We had Nancy Kwan for a double bill of Nancy Kwan films, World of Suzie Wong and Flower Drum Song, and she came in person and did a Q&A with our friend moderator Foster Hirsch, and signed some books for the fans and told some stories about the making of those films. And that's what we like to do best. We like to find a nice synergy between a book that's out there and a movie, and you can come and kind of get the full experience of, you know, seeing the film and then reading all about it, and reading the story and the history behind it.
So you have to keep that in mind. So you have to look at it, if you can, the way it was received when it was released in 1960. It was a very daring, controversial, advanced film, and Hollywood took chances. It's 65 years later. It's the story of a prostitute. The story would not be made in the same way today. If you want a story of a prostitute today, see Nora. No comment. This is very different. But what's extraordinary about the film on many levels is that traditionally in Hollywood, and not to Hollywood's credit, Asian characters were often played by American stars in what was called yellowface with prosthetics. Louise Reiner won an Oscar in 1937 for playing in The Good Earth. 5 years before this, Jennifer Jones got an Oscar nomination for playing a Eurasian character with makeup and prosthetics. In 1960, think of this, an Asian character is cast with an Asian actress. Think of that. And not only an Asian actress, but a superb actress in her very first film. The way, and I encourage you to both read her extraordinary memoir, The World of Nancy Kwan, and to stay tuned for our interview, because the way she was discovered for this film, an absolute unknown, thrust into this really prominent and challenging role, is the kind of story that Hollywood couldn't even invent. It seems unbelievable, and yet it happened to Nancy Kwan. The film is very daring about not only casting an Asian actress, but about an interracial relationship, about a man and a woman living together without being married, about prostitution in Hong Kong. These were daring and basically untouched subjects in 1960, and the film handles them all very sensitively. It's sometimes over the years been accused of stereotyping Asian characters. I don't feel that that's the case, and I think we're going to have a chance to discuss that with our star after the film. The film stars Nancy Kwan in a very challenging role. She's funny, sexy, touching, tragic, moving. It's an extraordinary performance. And she plays opposite one of Hollywood's great stars, William Holden, who never lets you catch him acting, ever. So he was a very good partner for her. And the third star of the film is Hong Kong, beautifully photographed, and a real character and presence in the film. So welcome to this film. It is a great film. It is much more important and artistically engaging and moving than its reputation. And I hope you'll stay tuned for the second feature, equally historic, equally, I think, underrated, and equally compelling as a genre-changing movie, The Flower Drum Song. So two great films with Nancy Kwan. If you're in for a terrific evening, you've come to the right place.
So you also have events, or you used to, at this store. Do you still have events?
I don't do as many here as I used to. Maybe a couple more things coming up in the fall. But it's the in-store events. I like to do more of the things where we're showing a film somewhere or doing like that more than in-store.
Nancy Kwan. Wow is right. I've seen the film so many times. It's a terrific movie. It really is. It's so sensitive and perceptive. Am I right? It's terrific. And you're perfection.
I haven't seen the film in a long, long time. And Hong Kong has changed completely. But it's,
How does the film seem to you after a long period of not seeing it?
I know it's very difficult for me to see myself. And, you know, I kind of criticize myself. I said, well, I should have done that one better. I should have that scene better. But it's too late now.
No, perfection. Tell the audience how you were discovered. It's better than any Hollywood story.
That was a long time ago. Let's see. I was in Hong Kong for my summer vacation because I was studying ballet in Hong Kong. I'm in England. And they were, one day, I don't know how I found out, but they were testing girls to play the role of the WORLD of SUZIE WONG. So I asked my father designed, he was an architect, and he designed the studio where they were testing the girls. So I said, can I go up there and watch and see what happens? And some of my favorite Chinese film actresses. So I went up there and I'm watching them testing for the role. I really didn't know what was going on, but I saw some of my favorite Chinese actresses. And as I was standing there, I hear someone say, would you like to do a screen test? And I went, oh, what's that? I said, I'm a ballet dancer. I'm not an actor, I'm just here looking at my favorite actresses. So he said, well, why don't you do a screen test? I said, well, I don't know what to do. He said, just sit down in the chair, and we'll ask you a few questions, and that's it. I said, okay. So I sat down in the chair, and he asked me a few questions, and every time he asked me something, I burst out laughing. I thought it was silly. I mean, I didn't know what to do. So, about, I don't know, 5 weeks later, 6 weeks later, I was about to go back to England to resume my studies, and my father received a letter saying from Ray Stark, the producer of the WORLD of SUZIE WONG, and said, would you like to come to Hollywood? We liked your screen test. And I went, my screen test? And would you like to come to Hollywood? You get a contract, I think it was a 6-month contract, and study acting and do another screen test, this time at Paramount Studios. So I said, yeah, I'd love to go to Hollywood, never been to America. And so my father said, all right, okay, but where are we going to stay? I mean, we don't know anyone in Los Angeles. He said, well, Ray Stark said, there's a place called the Studio Club. At that time, it was for women only. And the men were not allowed to go up to the second floor. And my father said, well, maybe that sounds like a good place for her to go. All right, so she can stay there. So I went and got into the Studio Club. It was a wonderful place. I met an actress that I know from even to today. We met that long ago. And that's how I started.
And you studied acting.
And I studied with Jeff Corey, acting, and I did 2 more screen tests. And I still didn't get the role because France Nguyen, the actress who was doing the stage play, she got the role. And Ray Stark said to me, look, if you're really serious about acting, you can join the road production. They're going to go around and they're going to go around the country and end up in Los Angeles. And I think if you're serious about it, you should, see whether you want to really become a serious actress. So I said, okay. So I joined the production, and when we got to Canada, I get a call from Ray Stark, and he said, Nancy, I want you to come to London right away. I said, what for? I said, I'm in a play. You're going in a play. And he said, no. You're going to come and you're going to be in the world of Suzie Wong. You're going to be playing the lead. I said, well, wait a minute. I'm in a play here. I can't just leave and go and make a film in London. So he says, I'll arrange everything. So just get on the plane. I got on the plane the next day, and the following day I was in Wardrobe and started shooting The World of Suzie Wong.
But because you were a novice after all, and you had this enormously challenging part, was William Holden helpful to you?
William Holden was a wonderful person, wonderful actor, a man's man, a woman's man, and so helpful. I could not have done the film without William Holden and the director, Nancy Kwan.
They helped you through.
Oh, they made me look good. Yeah.
But you know, seeing the performance of William Holden, he has such an inner life, but he doesn't telegraph it. It's all so subtle.
Yes.
It's so inner.
Yes.
But you feel all he has to go through to finally accept this woman, because he has some of his own problems to get over before he can realize he's in love with her. He has prejudice like the other characters, and you feel it gradually.
It's wonderful acting.
Wonderful performance.
That is true.
Now, you were nothing like Suzie Wong. You came from a well-to-do Hong Kong family. Is that true?
What?
Your family was prominent in Hong Kong. Your father was an architect. You didn't know the world of Suzie Wong yourself. What
No.
kind of research did you do?
Yeah, I did some research, yes. I read up on it. But actually I did because doing the stage play really helped me. And when I went to the film, I already knew the role so well that it was not a hard transition.
Did you talk to Hong Kong prostitutes?
Yeah, I did actually.
You
I did talk to them, yes. And most of them, I said, well, why did you come? In those days, a lot of people were coming out from China to Hong Kong, and they had no work, they had no job, they had nothing, they had to support their families, and that's what the girls told me, very young girls too. They said because they're doing this to make money,
To
support their
play
family.
to play Suzie Wong, you couldn't judge her, but you had to understand her. You couldn't judge her. You didn't judge her, did you? You understood her. You had to understand what motivated her.
I don't really understand.
I'm saying that you didn't judge the character. You didn't criticize her for the choices that she made. You understood those choices.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely, yes. No, but as a character and as the film went, I mean, really, it was my first film, and I really didn't understand acting as today, after many, many years later. So I just was surrounded, I was very lucky with William Holden, with Dick Kwan, the director, and the people around me, and all the rest of the actors, they made me look good.
Was it a problem for you to speak in the kind of pidgin English that you have to? That was a problem.
No, it wasn't a problem actually. No, I didn't find it so. No, and also because I had done Suzie Wong on the stage, the transition made it much easier.
Because that wasn't the way you spoke. That's the character spoke.
Oh yeah, well that's the way it's written.
That's the way
so I memorized it.
I don't know if you thought about this or discussed it, but she loses her child and she gets the man. Is there a connection that for the morality of that time she had to be punished so that she loses the child, but then she lives happily ever after with the man? You follow what I'm saying? It's in terms of the morality of the time, that the character has to be a little bit punished, has to suffer a little bit.
I didn't see it that way.
You didn't see it that way?
No, but that's interesting. No.
You didn't see it that way?
I didn't see it
Okay,
that way,
okay.
no. it just happens in life, you know.
The shot of the camera on you when you found out that your baby is dead, what the kind of preparation you must have done for that shot.
Oh,
That's
that
an
was
amazing scene.
Yeah, that
It's
was
amazing acting.
very difficult, very, very difficult. I was very young, and I hadn't gone through, I guess I would say, life in order to prepare myself that way. But I had a wonderful director, and he taught me through it and made me understand. And I think it worked very well, the way he photographed me, and I mean, just everyone was so helpful, made me look good.
And Richard Kwan was terrific in the crowd scenes.
Yeah.
The crowd scenes of Hong Kong are beautifully photographed.
Hong Kong doesn't look like that today. It's a whole completely different city. Actually, it's kind of nice to see it. You know, it brings back a lot of memories for me, because this was shot in the early 60s.
1960.
Yeah.
Some of it is shot in MGM, England, London.
I think, is it Old Street? I think Old Street, London, yes.
London.
Yes.
And some of
And
the
then the
locations.
locations were in Hong Kong. We went to the actual location in Hong Kong, which was great. But that was considered a runaway production in those days. You know, people were still shooting in the back lot of the studio, and we were one of the first films to go to the actual location to shoot.
Which is, the shots of Hong Kong are very powerful and extraordinary. It's a beautiful city out there.
Yeah,
I
it is.
love it.
Yeah.
But your art directing, your production designer, John Box, is
John
so
Box.
good
Yeah.
that the sets and the location match perfectly.
Very good point. It's
It's
true.
very hard to tell when we're really in Hong Kong or when
That's
we're in
right.
Hong Kong and England.
That's right.
Although we do stuff in here, and I do have a screen, and we can, we can accommodate. Jeff, why is it so important to have a venue such as this here and now? It's just important always if you're a fan of cinema, and if you're a fan of finding things that pertaining to that might be the things that you love or know you want, but you might also find things that you didn't know you had an interest in, and just preserving the history. It's important to have a place that isn't disposable and isn't about just what the product that's out right now is, and what films have stood the test of time, and what personalities and directors and people have stood the test of time, and the legacy and the work they left. One of the few art forms that really brings everybody together, and no matter where you're from or whatever. I mean, there aren't too many people that don't like movies, and if you don't, I don't know why you're in Hollywood anyway. So back in 1938, when this opened, was this always is this like a very unique concept, a cinema shop? Is this the only one in the U.S.? When the store originally opened, it was a general bookstore. In the 60s, the author Larry McMurtry basically bought out most of the first editions and non-cinema related books of any merit, and the owners of the store at the time realized that they had a capability to get material on Hollywood a lot more readily than anybody else could anywhere else in the country. So they started specializing more and more in that, and they created a catalog. I think you got a picture of it in one of the editions of it over there in the case, and they would send that out to film archives and people that did screenings and had film clubs and universities, and the word got around that this was a place to find that type of material, and so they just kind of realized there was a unique thing that no one else was really doing at the time. There have been other stores that have dealt in Other cinema bookshops, there's been a handful of them over time in different places. London had a really good famous one for a number of years. And there's other places that deal in the memorabilia across the country, but we're kind of one of the places that sells new stuff and sells out of print stuff, and you know, it's still trying to keep a toe in the water for modern films, but our bread and butter is mainly classic stuff.
Awesome. So yesterday you were actually selling the book of actress from Suzie Wong.
Nancy Kwan, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this book, and when did it become available? Can people order it online? Do you have an online presence, or you mostly have to come into the store? How does that work?
No, you can buy a signed copy of this on LarryEdmunds.com. And the book came out in the spring. We've done 3 events with Nancy now at various venues around town, including one in the store here for the Turner Classic Movies Film Festival. I'm a regular employee of the festival there, officially and unofficially, both in here, and we do a lot of events around Festival Week here every spring. It's a really a special time if you're a classic movie fan. I got one interesting item on it, but I haven't priced it yet. Just got this in.
So Sunset Boulevard is celebrating its 75th anniversary this weekend, and you have carried over the years a lot of things. William Holden and film related to this film. What do you think of this film, William Holden? Is this do you like this movie?
Oh, there's William Holden. Oh, I love this movie. One of the best movies ever.
Wait a minute, haven't I seen you before? I know your face.
Get out, or shall I call my servant?
You're Norma Desmond. Used to be in silent pictures, used to be big.
I am big. It's the pictures that got small.
One of the best movies about Hollywood and one of the best films, period, ever made. Here's a press book. So this is the kind of item they would have sent to the newspapers. And then they could do a simple cut and paste if they needed to for their ads in their local market, and add whatever additional information about the screenings at their theaters they would need. Give you some choices there. Looks like a lot of Radio City Music Hall stuff in this one.
As a matter of fact, that's where the film premiered on August 10th, 1950 at Radio City Music Hall. So there's that reference.
That makes sense.
Talk a little bit about her, because you met her, right?
I've actually done screenings with her when her book came out, and we've shown this film.
What is she like?
So yeah, it's pretty amazing. She's a pretty fascinating life. Another person where the Hollywood aspect of her life is just a small portion of what it is, but sometimes you get lucky and you do multiple events with someone if they're a local here. And so I've done a handful of appearances with Nancy and got to talk about this. Her husband was a fascinating man as well, who had a lot to do with pop culture history here, with everything from Bonanza to comedy records at Capitol. He's one of the guys that brought the Beatles to Capitol Records. Just fascinating backstory.
What are her?
She's the inspiration for the song "I've Grown Accustomed to Your Face."
What are her thoughts on working in the film and with William Holden? Have you spoken to her about that?
You know what? Everybody seems to say that he was a ultimate pro and made life very simple. Both Nancy Kwan and Nancy Olson both were pretty young and inexperienced at the time, and both have said that they really benefited by his presence there, that he made him feel extremely comfortable, and you know, it was a great working experience. She didn't spend much time with Gloria Swanson, so she doesn't have a lot of anecdotes about her.
And what do you feel of as far as having a career in cinema, in the cinema book business? Has it been personally rewarding to you? What are your thoughts after all of these years?
Well, I mean, I guess there's a good and a bad to any independent entrepreneurship or anything that you're doing. I like being my own boss. I like working in a business where our location on Hollywood Boulevard means the entire world basically comes here to visit us. So I meet a lot of interesting people, not just celebrities, but a lot of the customers that come here from all over, and some of the most passionate and devoted movie fans in the world that have certain favorites and come in, and you know, you can constantly learn from their knowledge. Authors and scholars, people that are the best and the brightest that have spent their lives studying, and they come here for research. So a lot of stories I get from authors that come in and tell me they learned their craft by coming here, and this was a valuable resource for them when they were learning their business. And so I get to be kind of the benefactor of that at times. And you know, it's fun when what you sell and what you do is something that people love, not something that people need, in most cases. And it's stuff that makes people happy. Generally, the association with these things is you know, passion and joy and fun. There are things that make people's lives better. I particularly like it when we meet little kids whose parents have introduced them to Laurel and Hardy or Frankenstein or The Wolfman or something like that, and they find these things at a young age, and for some kids there's a connection and they find it, and it's always exciting to find, you know, new fans like that and know that, you know, 50 years down the road, something that they saw here when they were a kid could still be something that they love and have passion for.
Any closing remarks, Jeff?
You know, go to the movies.
Come to the cinema bookstore.
And yeah, and if you love them and you want to, you want to dig a little deeper than just watching it, and you want to know the stories behind the scenes, or if you want to make them yourself, I mean, we've got the resources here. If you want to write, if you want to direct, if you want to learn technical skills, that we, you know, specialize in selling all that kind of material too, that hopefully can help you realize whatever your personal vision is. The one thing that's changed is the technology has made it very possible for anybody to tell their story in the medium now. It's all out there.
With that said, how do people follow your story on social media?
You can find Larry Edmunds on Instagram or on Facebook, or just go to LarryEdmunds.com and you can see where the events are posted and things like that. I was going to say, the one thing that's that's changed, that's made it easier to tell your story, is the technology, but the one thing that has never changed is telling a good story. And so it always begins there. And if you have a story that you really need to get out there and you really need to tell, and you know, you want to just make the sacrifices required, which it normally is to do that, you know, we're here to help, give you an assist.
And you seem to have the scripts and the information and everything people might need to actually get that going, right?
Yeah. It's fun whenever I meet somebody who's prominent or successful and they tell me a tale of how when they were starting out or trying to learn something, they found it through this store. Rennie Harlan is one, the director who came in here and told me when he was young, he used to send away from the homeland and you know, through our catalog and order books to try to learn how to be a director. Or when the writers from The Simpsons tell me that they would find practice scripts in here to learn how to format when they were learning how to write back in their early days. It's neat to know that the store, you know, played a part in the continuing history of people being entertained.
Also, I believe this store has a cameo appearance in one of my films, Medusa, that is celebrating its 10th year anniversary release.
I think you're right.
It was actually shot in 2013 and released 2015, exactly 10 years ago.
Wow.
So if you pay close attention to this clip, you will see a clip of Larry Edmunds in Medusa.
You will. You talked me, you conned me into that one, right?
Oh, sorry. Oh, Stephen.
Lana, what are you doing here?
I'm just getting some books for Jack. So what'd you find out?
It's worse than I thought.
What do you mean?
Well, you know that cabin where Jack went to pick up the mirror?
Yeah.
It's infested by Medusa. I think she has him under her spell, and the only way to break that spell is to bring the mirror back to the cabin.
The mirror back to the cabin? Are you crazy? No. 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 Well, there's no way.
Lana, listen to me. He's only going to get worse, and if we don't do something quick, he's gonna die, just like that guy who tried to kill him.
What can we do?
We can't do anything. Jack is the last of the bloodline of her killer, Perseus. Only he can destroy her. That's why the mirror sought him out.
But why go back there? I mean, we can't go back there.
The cabin is now a porthole to the afterlife, Hades. Don't you see? Medusa sought him out the whole time. Jack's the last of the bloodline of Zeus himself, and she plans to use that bloodline to enter our world.
And you got all of this from hypnotizing him?
After connecting the dots and reading up a lot on the myth. She plans on the eve of the next celestial event to sacrifice him, just like she did that Kale guy. You know, the one that Jack said the mirror blew up?
I don't understand. She could have killed him. Why hasn't she killed him?
She needs him alive long enough, just long enough to enter our world. She plans to use his body for that mirror and use his blood to enter our world. Lana, if you have any influence over him, now's the time to use it.
I can't do this alone. I'm gonna need your help. I mean, gosh, we need like an intervention.
Any suggestions?
His birthday's coming up. We could throw him a surprise birthday party. And with all of us together, then we could try and convince him to go back and just walk away from all of this.
I don't know what he's going to think about that, but it's worth a shot.
No, it's great. I'll have you distract him while I prepare the apartment. I just want it to be really special for him.
You know that mirror's at the apartment.
That's exactly why we have to do it at the apartment.
I don't think he should be there. I don't think you should be there, or anyone for that matter. But we have no better options, and I suppose there's strength in numbers.
I'll be fine. I just want this all to be over with. You're gonna be there though, right? I mean, you'll be able to protect us.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Count me in.
Great.
Lana, be careful.
I'll keep you informed.
Please do.
Steven,
Yeah.
are you alright? You just seem a little distant. That's all.
Yeah, I'm just tired.
Jack keeping you up at night?
Something like that.
I gotta get going. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Jeff, this has been spectacular. For movie lovers, for book lovers, for cinema lovers who love anything film, this is the place to be and should be your first stop here on Hollywood Boulevard. And what is the address of the bookstore here on Hollywood Boulevard?
We're at 6644 Hollywood Boulevard, intersection of Hollywood and Cherokee. 3 blocks east of Highland, right off of the main drag, just a little east of there.
Jeff,
Across from Musso and Frank's.
much success always, Jeff. We need places like this. We need to preserve places like this. We need to make sure that people support places like this. That's why share this video, tell everybody about it, follow Jeff and Larry Edmunds on social media, and buy his books, attend the events.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Gordon.